Okay, good morning, students. So today's chapter which we are going to discuss is post-World War political development. Okay, now in this book, in the ninth standard book, we whatever we are going to study, that talks about all the development which has been took place. Okay, in history we talk about the development in the economics, then political system and other things. So now in the chapter, in the political science, the first chapter, we are going to discuss post World War political development. We all know there were two World War took place, the First World War and the Second World War. Okay, Second World War was more drastic in comparison to the First World War. So, what are the changes took place? Okay, and what development have been took place post World War period that we all are going to discuss. Okay, yes, someone has said the Cold War. Yes, the Cold War is more dangerous than the two world war which has been took place. Okay, so in this chapter we are going to discuss more about the post world war political development. Okay, now before this, what we used to what you have studied in the political science, or we can say civics, till 8th standard you have a civics. Okay, so in that book, you have studied about the local self-government, institutions, then India's constitution, then political system, governmental structure. Okay, but in this chapter, we are going to study about the India's relation with the world. Okay, and for that, it is very important to understand the geography of what of the world of. If you don't know the geography of the world, so you cannot understand the history or political development also. Is that clear? So we are going to discuss about a global historical event which took place in our history. Okay, now with the help of the study of the political science, we discuss more about the India's relation with the world and global issue. Now we all know that we all are dependent on one another. Okay, for some reason, because we cannot get all the things at our own. Okay, it is very for example, if we take the example of the crude oil, so we are dependent for the crude oil for the Arab nations. Okay, and many more different things we are dependent to some other nations. So as there is a dependency, so there is an exchange and interactions also took place between the nations. Okay, and we have already discussed in the last chapter in the economic development that some treaties have been signed between the countries for the trade. Okay, so in this system, there is independency also and sovereignty also. Both the things are matter. Now, what is a sovereignty? Sovereignty means, in the sense I already explained you. Sovereignty, it means that a nation is self-responsible for whatever the things is going to be happen. Nobody will interfere in that nation. Okay, if India is suffering from some problem, so it is not the responsibility of some other nation that they will come and try to solve the problem. It will be solved by India only. If India will need the help, that time she can take. Now, if we can take this current example, when there is problem took place between India and China. You all know. I know that. So at that time, America has USA has want to interfere. That time, India has said no. We can solve our problem. So this is called as sovereignty of the nation. Okay. Now, first point which we are going to discuss is called as interdependence. Now we already discussed what is interdependence. Interdependency means the thing we are dependent for some other thing or some other reason for each other. Okay, so it is not possible that a country is a very prosperous or self developed, so it will be self sufficient. No, it is not like that. For some reason, they have to be independent, dependent on other nations. So it is called as interdependency. So interdependence is an important feature of international system. If there is a no interdependency, there will be no global market, right? So globalization is the result of interdependency. Okay, now international relation through foreign policy. Okay, now it is very important. We should have the relation between the different countries should be good. Okay, and for that, every nation has policies about its internal dealings, as also about its relation with other nation. Okay, so this policy regarding internal dealings and its relation with the other nation is called as foreign policy, which we will study in detail in next chapter. Okay, but here you should know what is foreign policy. Okay, so after that, we discuss now what is our topic. We should not go back from the topic, that is post World War political development. So now we will jump to the World War period, that is post World War. Okay, now the world in which we have which we are living today uh, is shaped through many events in development. Many things would have been happened in the past, and because of that, the present scenario we can see. Okay, if we go back to the history, then only we can understand today's world. There are many changes which has been done in the world, and for that, many people have sacrificed themselves. Okay, so whatever the present is, that is the result of the past. Okay, now the first World War everyone knows. Very good students, I'm getting a lot of answer. That is, the first World War has been took place between 1914 to 1918. The period of these few years uh, changed the global system. Okay, now during the first World War, we all know who took the participation, the European countries. Okay, and the European countries uh, uh, not only the European countries took the part, but they took part with the colonies they have. Now we all know what do you mean by the colonies. India was also one of the British colonies, right? Colony in the sense, country which get overpowered by some other nation. So that country which goes under the power of other nation become the colony. So during the First World War, the colonies are, it can be said that forcefully or without forcefully, they have to took part in the First World War. And that is why what happened, the uh, the war between the European nation converted into the World War. Okay. As there was a war. So we all know war causes only problem. The effect of the consequences of the war is only problem, only destruction. It cannot help anyone. Okay, in the same way, what happened? Uh, those who took part in the this world war, they have caused a tremendous loss of life and property. Okay, and after that, those it doesn't mean that those who not took a part, they have not get affected. They too get affected because of this war. And so the economy of the victorious as well as losing countries collapsed. Okay, because when there is a war, we have to concentrate on the our frontiers, and we forget about our economic development, because all the currency we use to give to the war, and because of that there is a loss of property, there is a loss of people, and everywhere only destructions. Okay, now we all know which are the nations which have participated in the First World War. The nations that were divided into the two, that is Allied power, which include Britain, France, Russia, Italy, and America, and Central power, which includes Germany, Austria, Hungary, Turkey, and Bulgaria. Okay, now what happened as the on 1918, the first world war has been finished. So there is a kind of fear among the nation that the second time also this kind of war can be took place. So there is a need someone come forward and try to make a management that this kind of war should not come into existence again. So as a measure to the war should not took place again in future, a new organization, we can say, that was international organization has been established, that is the League of Nations. So League of Nations was established after the First World War to establish peace. Okay, now what was the responsibility of the League of Nations? The responsibility of the responsibility of the nation. Yes, very good, Simran, for your uh, information. The League of Nations, in which year the League of Nations got established? It was the year 1920. Okay, and what was the headquarter at that time? It was, yes, okay, the headquarter was Geneva. Now, student, uh, we all know the Second World War has been took place. What does it mean? That the League of Nations have not able to complete its objective. And what was the objective? To maintain the peace in the world. So the objective of maintaining peace have not been accomplished by the League of the Nation. And because of that, the Second World War took place. Okay, now we all know before that there have been some different changes also took place in the world. Some European nations were becoming more and more powerful, and some are getting collapsed, and then there were lots of movements took place in the colonies of the European countries, especially now. So what happened? That many colonies in the continent of Africa and Asia start demanding their independence. Okay, so different movements have been uh, started in different countries. And at the same time, a new term come into existence that is called as atrocity, atrocratic regime. Now, what is atrocratic regime? Autocracy, it means what? Autocracy in the sense, and this was, yes, it is a kind of rule in which ruler has all the power. Okay, and at the same time, which countries we can give the example as a autocratic? That is Germany, Italy, and Spain. Okay, we know the better name Hitler of Germany. Okay, so autocracy has started in the world. A new regime started, and after all these different movement in the European colonies and autocratic regime, and all these resulted the Second World War. Okay, so Second World War has been took place in the year 1939 and 19 to 1945. Now we all know there have been lot of changes have been took place after the First World War. Okay, so these changes also took place in the uh, research. Okay, and because of that, what happened? New weapons come into existence, and because of that, what happened? This war, the Second World War, was more destructive than the First World War. Okay. Now in this map, you can see different nations. Okay. Those who took part in the World War. Okay, now at this time, the nation have divided into two. That is Allied power and Axis powers. Okay, now Allied power include Britain, France, Austria, Canada, New Zealand, India. Okay, then Soviet Russia, China, and America. And Axis power, Germany, Japan, and Italy. Okay, now who played the major role? America. America played a major role because it had manufactured nuclear weapon. Okay, and this nuclear weapon has been used by the America in the year 1945 in the two cities of Japan to end the war. Two cities of Japan, very good Anushka, it is Hiroshima and Nagasaki. On the 6th August on the Hiroshima and 9th of August on the Nagasaki. And because of that, the Second World War has been end. Okay, it end with the defeat of Germany in Europe and Japan in Asia. And after the Second World War also, there was a lot of things happen in the world. Okay, so, and one of the most drastic thing which have took place, very good Sneha, it was Cold War, which took place between 1945 to 1991. Now, what is a Cold War? Cold War in the sense, there was no actual fight on the frontiers, but still there is a kind of threat between the country that any time power that war should be took place, and because of that there is yes tension regarding the war, and because of that the countries are starting to pile up the different ammunitions, then different military power, all different things. Okay, now so the concept of Cold War is used to describe the condition where there is no actual war, and they but there are such tension in the circumstances that may be the responsible cause for the war. So now, who are the two power? The two power were the America. Very good, Bhumi. Bhumi Tiwari and Samar Mohite. They were America and Soviet Union. These were the two powers after the Second World War. Okay, and they have started to struggle for the power, arm race, differences in all ideologies, attitude of checkmating each other, and by strategy and counter strategies. And because of that, the Cold War come into existence. So now, what are the effects of the Cold War? The first effect, creation of the military organization. Okay, so there were many military organizations have been created. We can give the example of one of that, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. This organization has military power which was under the dominance of America, and the Warsaw Pact, which was under the dominance of Soviet Union. Okay, now after that, what happened? Bipolarization of the world. Now, what do you mean by bipolarization of the world? Okay, so now during the Second World War, or we can say during the Cold War, after the Second World War, during the Cold War, most of the countries of the world joined each of the super bloc. Okay, there were two super blocks we already discussed, America and the Soviet Union. So these were the super blocks. So countries started to join these two. And because of that, the whole world has been divided into two divisions. And such a division of the world is called as bipolarization. And because of this because of bipolarization, what happened? There is a tension of war has been increased. Now, after that, the third effect was the arm race. Okay, now we already discussed there were arm race. The countries started to make a large, started to make pile up different amenities and expanding their military power. Okay, and they are started rivalry to make more and more destructive weapon and to acquire the technology required for the same. And thus, both superpower realize that the arms race may uh, endanger international peace. And that is why they have started to do some efforts to control arm and disarmament has started during this period. Now, what is disarmament? Disarmament to not use the arm. Try to solve the problem with negotiation is called as disarmament. Now, so for that, different organization, regional organization has been created. So our next effect is creation of regional organization, which we have already discussed in our economic development. Okay, so developing nation created regional organization at regional level to ensure mutual cooperation in context of superpower rivalry. Okay, so developing nation are trying to come out from this rivalry, and they started to make their own organization because they have to do develop. And for that, economic development is more important because these two superpowers is already economically developed, and that is why they took a third route and they make their own regional organization. Okay, and yes, India is also part of this organization. Okay, now thus the Southeast Asian countries come together and they have started an organization called as ASEAN. That is ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Okay, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So who were the part of this? Singapore, Thailand. Okay, after that, Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia. Okay, then Philippines, Brunei, Vietnam. These are the different nations which form this organization, that is Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Now, after that come the non-alignment movement. Now, what is the non-alignment movement? We have already discussed there were two superpowers, and from that one power has come out. They have not joined both the superpower. They are called as non-alignment. Okay, they have not aligned with the superpower. Okay, so when there was a bipolarization was took place, while there was a Cold War, some countries which have not joined this both power rivalry, they and decided to stay out of that. They are called known as non-alignment, and this was an important movement during the Cold War. Now, the non-alignment movement, the Asian and African countries which become independent after the Second World War. We all know that India is also became independent after the Second World War. Okay, so they have started this movement from 1961 under the leadership of India's Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, President of Yugoslavia Marshal Tito, President of Egypt Gamal Abdel Nasser, President of Indonesia Dr. Sukarno, and President of Ghana Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Okay, these were some important personalities which come together and they have started non-aligned movement. Now after that, there must be evaluation took place between of the non-aligned movement. So what was the evaluation of the non-aligned movement? That is, they have opposed colonialism, imperialism, and racism, and they encourage the resolution of international dispute by peaceful means. Now we all know, whenever there is a problem to place with any nation with India, so India is not using arms. First, trying to negotiate. Okay, and if it is not able to solve with negotiation, that time there is a need of war. Okay, after that, the non-alignment movement. What was the principle of the non-alignment movement? Uh, the principle was humanism, very important principle, global peace and equality. What was the main principle that whichever the nation, whether it is uh, economically developed or undeveloped or underdeveloped, they should get equal opportunity in the global market, global world. And that is why this movement has been started. Okay, and as we all know that this non-aligned movement encourages the resolution of international dispute by solving the peaceful means. So, what was the first stand of them? That there should be disarmament. They should not use the arms. Fostering human rights. Give more importance to the human rights. And at the same time, they also want to solve the problem of the poor, undeveloped countries. And they want that this should become developed. Okay, because war always create destruction. So they want to stay away from the war. And this movement also made a demand of a new international economic order, NEO. Now, what were the significance of the non-alignment movement? This movement have not reduced even after the end of the Cold War. Okay, the Cold War has been stopped, but this movement have not stopped, but it goes on increasing, and it brought different streams to economic and social changes in international politics. It gives the confidence to poor nation to become self-respect in international politics. Okay, so now we have discussed about the features of the non-aligned movement. Is that clear? Now, let us discuss the end of the Cold War, how the Cold War come to an end. Now, first was the adoption of the open economic policy of the USSR. What does it mean? The state, the Soviet Union has loses its control over the state, and it has to open the economy for the whole world. Then the president of the Soviet Union, Mikhail Gorbachev, implemented the policy of perestroika, that is restructuring, and glasnost, that is openness. Okay, so because of this policy, whichever the control were, there are many controls have been given to the media. So this control were reduced, and because of that, Many important changes took place in economic and political spheres. Okay, if media is not get suppressed by any uh, thing, any power, so it will show the reality of the society, and the society can change. And because of that, the control over the media has been reduced. As the East European countries, under the influence of the Soviet Union, adopted a capitalist and democratic paths, and the regime has been changed. Okay, we know now that East European joined with the Soviet Union, and the West European joined with the America. And slowly and gradually, they were disintegrated into the Soviet Union, and new nations were created. Russia was the biggest country in the Soviet Union. Okay, so these were the, after all these four things, the Cold War come to an end. Is that clear, students? Okay, now what were what was the world after Cold War? Post Cold War world. Now, as we know that Soviet Union has got disintegrated. So now who is the main superpower now? America. America became as only superpower in the world politics. Okay. Then a favorable atmosphere prevailed for the growth of trade and economic relations between and among the nation. And so, because for that, the main thing for any industry, that is capital labor market, and at the same time information started to circulate throughout the world. And that is why the spread of idea uh, started globally. Okay, freely anybody can go anywhere and use their ideas and do the development. Then now United Nations, we know after the Second World War, a new organization has been established to for the peace, that is United Nations. So that is we called as UN. The United Nations started maintaining the global peace and security in the world. And for that, it gives, the United Nations has given uh, importance to the global peace, and for that uh, it gives the many aid to the different nations, so the nation can become economically strong. And because of that, there is a change of enemy nation to rival nation. Previously the nations were enemy, now they are rivals. Now what is the difference between the enemy and the rival? Enemies are in the sense they fight. Okay, but what do you mean by rival? Rivals, they do the competition. In this understood. So there is a competition, but this competition leads to the economic development. Okay, and after that there are many changes also took place in the global dimensions. For example, the UN started to work about the economic development, human rights, gender equality, nature calamity. Then after that, different things for the children, and many more things have been started by the United Nations. Okay, so slowly and gradually, what happened as the people started to move from one place to another for using their ideas? So the whole world started to become a market. So there is emergence of the globalization. Okay, so after the end of the Cold War, trade economic relation between the countries became more open, and because of that, there is an exchange of market, there's an exchange of labor, capital, and so the whole world become a single market. And so there is the interdependency started among the nation. And so the boundaries which were among the nation, they did not remain as sacrosanct as they were before. To stop, sacrosanct in the sense to stop the people to come inside. But now they become open market. Anybody can come inside, can start their industries. Okay, but under the rules and regulations. That is very important. So now, slowly and gradually, after Cold War, we jump towards the globalization, and different countries got linked with each other for trade, increasing their trade, economic unification. Then, plenty of products available in the market. Now, if you want to purchase a laptop, we have a variety of laptop. If you want to purchase a mobile, you have a variety of mobile. Yes, trade increase, so there is a more production of products, and so the whole world got lots of product. There's a lots of choices. So the gap between the poor and rich nation still not reduced. Okay, so still we are working for the same, to reduce the gap between the rich and poor nation. Is that clear, Beta? So in this chapter, what we have understood, we studied about the development, the global development from 1945 onwards. It is a post Second World War. Okay, so after that, what we have understood, we have talked about the Cold War period, we have talked about the arm race, then what were the effects of the Cold War, and how we move towards the globalization. Is that clear? Yes, interdependency of various nations in terms of market and other things.